You know, everybody talks about Game Pass as it is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And if you ever talk negatively about it or bring up the fact that you might think that it not be the greatest thing ever, then you get a lot of hate on you and things like that. I really honestly feel like just having an honest opinion about it these days is something that really will get you a lot of hate. And I've come to kind of understand that and expect that. And it kind of is what it is because I'll always speak my mind about these type of things and how I feel about it. And so when everybody's like, you just wish Sony had a thing like Game Pass, and I see stories like this, it makes me really happy to see that, Sony doesn't have a Game Pass situation, in particular like day and date games, mainly because you would have to build these games specifically around that type of service. And I feel like those games end up being the worst off in a lot of ways because of that. Not that there'll be bad games, but just in general, you're really kind of setting yourself up and setting yourself apart because you're trying to make games that are going to lure people back. You're going to try and set out games that people will come back to, and things like that. And I feel like that's not necessarily what PlayStation games are about, and not every game has to be about that. Not every game has to be a single player experience either. But I do think that what PlayStation does best is create some amazing exclusives that are single player, and they can branch out. But again, you don't really see Microsoft on the other hand creating amazing single player experiences because I don't think it really would work out very well for the Game Pass model. I'm very interested to get into this, so let's go ahead and go. What's up, everybody? It's me, Crapgamer, here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. If you could give us a simple like, that would be amazing. I really do appreciate that and appreciate the love and support and stuff. So, yeah, you guys have been pretty cool. Love seeing that. Love seeing all the cool stuff and the positivity and things like that. It's really cool. And just much appreciated. So we know Forza Horizon 5 is coming out again. Despite what people think, I do think it has been downgraded a bit, but I still think it's going to be a good game. It's a game that I have pre-ordered. Obviously, I think the Horizon games have always been good, but the interesting thing is they've given an interview about how they built Horizon 5 around Game Pass, and that's the part that makes me worry. With how successful Game Pass has been for Microsoft with 18 million subscribers, as reported earlier this year, it shouldn't come as much as a surprise that certain titles are influenced by it. Playground Games' Forza Horizon 5 is an interesting example in that respect. Its predecessor was already quite popular in the service despite launching before it was a thing. Speaking to Press Start, creative director Mike Brown says the developer got very good at being a Game Pass game and noted that you do have to look at things differently. Having players that could potentially return after several months is one of those. Curious facts that are true of Game Pass game design. No one ever trades you in and they might not install it, but they always own you. You're going to be a title, you're going to be a thumbnail on the dash, and that means the friction to get you back in the game is very low. Brown also noted that the success of the service is also dependent on the game's social element, something which Forza Horizon 4 also did very well. When someone in your friendship group plays the title, then all of your friends that are on Game Pass have that title. If you can have social features or features that encourage you to say, hey, can we do this thing in co-op, then you're going to be going in to do better on Game Pass. As for Forza Horizon 5 has been designed with Game Pass in mind, there are the festival playlists. These are weekly affairs which confer rewards for participants. It feels like a snackable and manageable amount of stuff that's new and that you can jump right into right now, and in a few days there'll be some more. I think again that really helps blend with the way people play games on Game Pass. This may explain the philosophy behind the new Horizon Arcade, which offers a variety of multiplayer minigames throughout the map, like popping piñatas, along with introduction to Horizon Open. It also puts the addition of titles like Outriders, Dungeons & Dragons, Dark Alliance, and the upcoming Back for Blood to the service in greater perspective. It's out November 9th. Now, the interesting thing about this is, and I've kind of noted this multiple times, we are in this very kind of weird situation where Microsoft is heavily pushing games as a service. And, you really need to, understand where I'm coming from that, where not every game needs to be that. Now, I love Forza Horizon 3. That might be the best racing game of all time. I always kind of go back between that one and the first one. I really loved the first one, how it had more of a story and how you started off really ranked low, and then you had to build yourself up to rank 1. I like that aspect of the game. Part 4 felt a lot like 3, which is good because I like 3 so much, but then they added in all these things. I got to be honest with you, I wasn't a big fan of like the weather changes and stuff. I hated the winter, to be honest with you, but aside from that, it just felt like they wanted to make Destiny on cars or something, with dailies and weeklies and stuff, and I'm just not interested in that. You know what I mean? They really want to put a focus on doing this stuff with your friends and playing. Like, I just liked it because, racing games are something you can play by yourself and just have a good time with it. Yeah, some people like to do the races and the online stuff, and I get that, but I think most people that play racing games really just like to play and kind of experience these things for themselves. And just the fact that it's like they make it very unclear on what you got to do to get to actually finish a certain aspect of it or whatever. I just find that to be a weird situation, and the same thing happened to Gears of War 5, and I point this out and people don't believe me. So what they did in Gears of War 5 was create an arcade mode, and arcade mode was the only mode that you couldn't play crossplay with PC. Why? Because they don't want you to get skunked by PC players using keyboard and mouse and stuff like that, and it was supposed to be a less hardcore mode. Or wait, no, there was actually PC crossplay in that, and I always felt like that was a really bad situation to be in, because the only way that you could play without the PC players was playing the real hardcore stuff in ranked, where you pretty much get your ass kicked all the time. And now it doesn't matter because everything is crossplay anyway. But for me, I just felt like having an arcade mode, doing a boot camp, like a reintroduction to things, changing the story. You get rid of the of war and all this stuff to really kind of dumb down the game. And I felt like it didn't work out very well for for that franchise. And who knows if it might work out a little bit better for a racing game, but I just feel like having a priority, like how is this going to affect stuff like Halo? How is this going to affect stuff in the future? Like, I don't want to play Fable. I don't want the new Fable to have multiplayer or, co-op or anything. I wanted to just be a great RPG single player experience. That's really how I kind of feel about it. And for me, I just feel like, people kind of forget that. People really kind of go into this with a different type of thought and a different type of mentality that this isn't a good thing. And imagine if Sony were building games specifically around a Game Pass situation. I feel like it probably wouldn't really end very well. Could you imagine? Like, if they would have to possibly force a bunch of DLC or force a bunch of force a bunch of content down your throat, and maybe even possibly have to get in a situation where they were forceful in making it to where gamers had to keep, because they wanted you to keep coming back to it. So maybe add in microtransactions or incomplete game and then add expansions later on or whatever. And for me personally, I just feel like that probably wouldn't be the best thing to happen. And I do hope that we get some amazing games, but making games specifically for a service doesn't seem like it's such a great idea, in my opinion. And I hope that that's something that we can change before too long. I mean, like, the thing is, this directly contradicts what we were told about Game Pass in the first place, right? Like, we were told that they don't have to change anything to put it into Game Pass. And now it's like so obvious that that wasn't the truth, and we're in this situation where, things do change because of that. So, I find it to be a little bit odd, and I know you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about, but for me, it's just upsetting to see that. I don't like the way that gaming, has gone with this whole services stuff. It just, It doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense to me. Like, I like traditional gaming, and building these games to where everything has to be a Destiny type of situation doesn't do much for me. I'm being honest about it. So, with that being said, though, I would appreciate your guys' thoughts and impact and influence on this. What do you guys think? I would appreciate it if you guys would let me know. Are you guys bothered by this, or is it something you don't care about? I think that, probably maybe some of you are. If you're a PlayStation fan, if you're an Xbox fan, you're probably, will just love whatever they do anyway, so it won't really matter. But yeah, this is something that has been very kind of intrusive to me in the past, and I got to get that kind of explanation out there as to why I'm not a fan of it. So, with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.